if you want to improve English, you have to read texts in English. It's a very special book for me because I can improve English just reading language files, materials for an introduction to language and linguistics. It's not easy. Absolutely, it's not easy to reading texts in English, but it's totally necessary because you have to try to speak to. In this case here, my focus is just reading, okay? But I try to speak too. Now I'm in this exactly moment that I'm recording this video, speaking English. I don't speak English my day because I'm from Brazil. In Brazil, we don't speak English. We use just Portuguese here. But I think it's important to know English. Which page I stopped at the last video? I don't remember. Let's see. I think it was the page number 8. Number 7 about the speech communication chain, using a kind of images. I've tried to describe the speech communication chain using images. But for today, let's continue this text about the speech communication. The topic is 1.2.2 from the chapter. Let's see. From the first chapter, the introduction for this special book, the file 1.2, what you know when you know a language. But the specific topic is the speech communication chain. I'm going to read just one paragraph. I think it's enough for today, because this paragraph it's so huge. Basically, this illustration shows that for an idea to be communicated from one person to another, numerous steps must be carried out. First, an idea of something to be communicated must be thought of. This is not necessarily a function of language per se, but it is certainly the first step in communicating an idea. Once the idea is there, you have to put the idea into words that have meaning and that are expressed in a particular way. These steps form the backbone of much traditional linguistic research. Not that these first 4 steps represent the information source in the communication system. Step number 5 is the steps about the images that I talking about the last video. Here we just have the text describing the images. Step number 5 is the transmitter. In this step, the speaker actually gives physical expression to the mental representation of the message to be conveyed. Step number 6 is the signal itself here. The sound is generated by the speaker travel through the air to the listener. The listener acts as the receiver in step number 7, sensing the sound signal and sending it to her own brain. Step number 8, in the diagram, it's particularly simplified in that it's really encompasses a step from 2 to 4 in reverse. That it's to decode the signal that has been perceived. The listener must also use a methodology of phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics, concepts that will be further explained below. To interpret the sounds as language. Finally, the step number 9 represents the destination. The listener has received the communicated idea. Note that the diagram, the listener in fact receives exactly the same idea that the listener tried to convey. This, as you have probably experienced in an idealization, all of these steps take place in a particular context that can either add to the ability of our participants to understand the communication of interfering with the success of the communication interference and the channel is known as noise. The last paragraph for today. The rest of this book will go into far more detail about how each part of this communication chain works with respect to language. The diagram in the first one is rather simplified in terms of how it summarizes each step. However, the next session briefly explains each part, showing you what it is that you know when you know a language. As you read about each component, try to think about where it fits into the channel of communication diagram. Okay, I've finished all the topic about the speech communication chain. The next video I'm going to start the next topic 1.2.3.3 what you know when you know a language. It's a very large or huge text for try to reading here. Let's see, or let me tell you something. It's not easy English. Everyone on the internet or in life, it's very normal that I heard that English it's easy, but English it's not easy. Language it's not easy. Portuguese it's not easy. German it's not easy. All the languages are not easy to use. One thing is you imagine the language as a kind of language theoretical. But if you want to, or if you have to use this in a practical or in a normal day, it's not easy. And I think it's not the problem. But you can improve it. In my case, I always says here that you have to know that we have 4 skills of communication. You can read in texts, as I'm doing here, or you can listen in something, sounds, or you can write in texts, or you can speak in too. I think it's the 4 skills of communication are very nice to improve English or another language. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video. And no problem if you try and you don't be okay. Don't be nice or don't be totally right. But you have to try, like I'm doing here. It's not a problem because the mistakes, it's totally common, it's totally normal if you don't use the certain language in your day. It's not common for you. If you're not common for you, there is no problem if you make mistakes. Okay? Thank you.